I hope you didn't think I wouldn't do this one after the mothers one. Fathers deserve just as much appreciation as mothers, you misandrous piece of honourable mentions. Guile. He's not really anything special, I just wanted an excuse to play his theme over this segment. Cao Cao. Historically, he had 25 sons and a bunch of daughters. Biologically. What a pimp. Lu Bu. He's such a good father that if he keeps his main squeeze around, he completely forgets his daughter exists. Tokugawa Ieyasu. He must have the patience of a saint to not push this little dipshit down a flight of stairs. Kenshi. After his wife's death, he goes to get revenge and leaves his son with Scorpion. Wait, what? Shao Kahn. Fuck yeah! Marcus Phoenix. Gears 4 will star Marcus's son, so he'll no doubt be a fantastic father. We don't know much about Marcus's parenting style, but bear in mind, he's a real man, in a real war, with real guns. Kratos. He murdered his kid. Let's move on. Number 5. Some might say characters like Kazuma Kiryu and Lee Everett don't count because the children they protect aren't their children in any official capacity. But so what? Being a parent isn't about spunking in a cooch or lying back and being spunked in. It's about loving and protecting the child in your care. Even if they're not these girls' fathers officially, they do a damn good job of it, overcoming insurmountable odds time and time again to protect them. Whether zombie or human, nothing will stand in their way, and that is what makes them worthy of the title of parent. Number 4. If you just played through Assassin's Creed 3 and left it at that and didn't look any deeper, you'll probably find the inclusion of Connor's distant, condescending, antagonistic father Haytham to be quite perplexing. If that is the case, I highly encourage you to read or listen to the audiobook version of Assassin's Creed Forsaken.
Why me? Because I said so. Now go!
The book details Haytham's life from age 9 up until his death, and it sheds a lot of new light on his motivation and his struggle as a Templar of Assassin heritage. He aims to make his son wise, a goal I believe he ultimately is able to succeed at, even if his ultimate life goal is unobtainable within his lifetime. I don't want to spoil too much, so I'll leave off this entry by saying that after going through that book, Haytham Kenway is one of my favourite characters in the entire franchise and one of my favourite fathers in all of gaming. Number 3. What would you do if your daughter was kidnapped by a street gang with enough members to conquer a small country? Call the police, write her off and make another one, complain on social media like an SJW twat? No, you call up her boyfriend and his best friend and you go beat the shit out of every son of a bitch or daughter of a bitch that gets between you and your baby girl. This is the policy of Mayor Mike Haggar. He's like if Jesse Ventura merged with Rodrigo Duterte. He's a goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus who throws cripples out windows. Actually, that doesn't sound very heroic now that I think about it. Number 2. Imagine, if you will, that your child is terminally ill. There is a temporary cure that you can use to prolong their life, but it must be administered every 24 hours for the rest of their life, and it doesn't come cheap. I imagine most people would understand if you concluded that the kindest thing you could do was make sure they're comfortable when they pass. But not Chuck Green. Chuck is a man who will never give up to keep his little girl alive no matter what he has to put himself through for her sake. By the time of Dead Rising 2, he's been doing this for 3 years, 13 by Dead Rising 3. He has been working tirelessly, risking his life constantly to ensure he has enough Zombrex for his daughter every 24 hours, even every 12 hours for the first couple years. It's not about all the zombies and psychopaths and evil corporations he fights that makes him such a badass. His tireless devotion to his little girl takes him to some pretty dark places, but he will never stop trying, even if he fails. Number 1. You don't need to be able to fight an army of amoral a-holes or slavering monstrosities to be a hero. All you need is to love your child and be willing to do whatever it takes to get them back, biological or adopted. Enter Harry Mason. Harry Mason kills a literal god to save his child. The plebs amongst you are probably thinking, well, Kratos kills tons of gods so he's more badass or some other retarded bollocks, not realising that Kratos does so to dodge responsibility. Harry traverses a demonic hellscape, taking down loads of monsters despite not being the son of Zeus, through fatherly love alone. And his daughter is actually adopted. Now, I'm not for a second suggesting that adopted children deserve any less love than biological ones, but you could easily see how one might use that logic to justify writing Cheryl off as a lost cause and getting the hell out of town. But Harry won't do that. He will never give in until his daughter is safe, and even after he's gone, he continues to protect his daughter. Even the Shattered Memories incarnation, who can't fight, can only run away from the enemies, shares this determination. In theory, that's even more badass because he continues on despite being totally incapable of defending himself in any way. Harry Mason is the greatest father in gaming, and Christoph Gans still had the utter gall to replace him with a woman in the film version because he has no respect for fathers and wanted to make a story about motherhood despite that not being a theme of the game's plot at all. You cannot use an adaptation to tell your own story. You are telling the original creator's story, so that disrespectful wanker Christoph Gans can fuck right off. Happy Father's Day.